What the?
Come here.
Oh, buddy.
Subaru. 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 Vroom, 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 vroom. Look out!
This is a 2014. Technically, it's a Group N Subaru. It's mainly used on gravel.
You don't know this is cool for us, or maybe you don't realize it. Stage rally and rallycross is not that big in America, you know? It's just not. Travis Pastrana, Ken Block, and all these big names, athletes, tried their best to make it popular in the US, but for whatever reason, it never took off. But as car enthusiasts, we love stage rally. And like this, to me, is so cool.
That is basically classed here as more or less Group N. It's sort of as basic a car as you get. Yes, it has suspension and big brakes, AP brakes, Olin stampers and stuff, and a Hewlin dog box, but that's basically all the rules for Group N.
Yeah.
I call this my dirty area. This is all my machines for blasting, ovens for powder coating, aqua blaster, parts washers, and then...
Look at all these manifolds that you have.
Yeah.
This is crazy. There's so many of them. And then are these off like all of the cars that you're restoring right now?
No. What happens is, I take it you're familiar with the red wrinkled paint on a
Yes.
Subaru manifold.
Yeah.
Well, it's very, very hard to get.
Right.
And I have managed to trace it in Japan from the factory that supplies Subaru. So what happens is, more or less, if you want a manifold, if you're restoring a car and you want an original looking manifold, I'm sort of the only person can paint it for you, because I'm the only person with the paint.
Most of the Subarus that I see, it's already kind of like deteriorating or like peeling.
Yep.
Yeah. So like I've driven one 22B, the one that I've seen in the US, and it's pretty much completely gone, all the red. Yeah. So it just doesn't last very long, huh?
All over the world. So I do. Australia, New Zealand, America. I've sent them.
I mean, this is just like a bare, almost like a brand new one, huh?
On your ordinary, what we call a UK car, it comes this colour, just aluminium colour, and then we paint them to suit. So normally I keep I'll show you, but I have a batch of them sitting ready to post out to people.
So then you actually paint them here?
Yeah.
By yourself, like you actually spray it?
I will have a guy comes and paints for me here. I get a batch ready for him, and he comes and paints 4 or 5 at a time.
That's so cool. You got some skid plates here. You have some transmissions that you're working on here.
This is all stuff sort of left to be rebuilt, but it's in the queue. So, which is a couple of years long at the minute.
This is so crazy. And then you're rebuilding some brakes here too?
Yeah.
The question is, how did you come to specialize in Subarus?
Just started working on them. The first time I started working on Subaru was we went to Prodrive in England and stripped a brand new car to be turned into a rally car.
You were working at Prodrive?
No, a customer here wanted a car, so Prodrive, they supplied donor cars.
Yeah.
So we went to England to Prodrive, stripped the car. They put in the roll cage and done all the stuff, the safety stuff to the shell, and then we got the shell back, painted it, and built the car. That was in 1994, and from that so we're 29 years working at them.
Can we take a look at that alignment rack area? So you basically help people from all over the world restore their 22Bs.
Down below us, if you go on Google, anybody asks, need parts for 22B, my name comes up first. So down below me here is full of 22B parts. So all rare stuff in here as well. But
So did you ever, oh my goodness.
this is manifolds that I have all sitting with the proper crinkled paint ready to be posted out to customers when they purchase them.
So then, did you ever go to Japan to get any of these parts?
Just internet, just sit for hours and hours and hours on the internet.
Crazy. I mean, because realistically, the 22B, there's just only a certain amount of things that make it special versus the regular WRX, right? I'm assuming the fenders are probably the hardest.
Fenders, yeah.
And does that mean like
yes,
the fender liners are different?
The liners are different, yes.
Because they have to be bigger.
Yeah. which are very, very. I actually they come in two parts. They come in this up and over, and then they come down to the front of the bumper and turn this way. The front one, I have loads of them. These I don't have.
So do you have to reproduce some of these?
I need to do that. I haven't done it yet, but I need to, because I sell the bottom L-shaped one, but this one here, people ask me all the time for them, but I just don't have any.
Because it's not so much about them being restored. Now you're supplying to a lot of tribute cars too, right?
Yes.
Got it. And so what are these?
Front panels, just your latching panel, radiator panel at the front.
That's different than the regular
No,
W?
it's all the same, but
okay.
you can't get it anymore, so I have about 30 sets of it there. So it's no longer, there's loads of parts no longer available.
I mean, the thing also is, what is this?
That is
glass.
probably the only windscreen left for Subaru. I have tried to buy these, and I bought 3 of them, and that's the last one. There's no more available that I can find.
Oh my gosh. The thing that blows me away is, I mean, you know, the prices of 22Bs are just so insane now.
Yeah.
Kieran was telling me that he sold one for £26,000.
Yep, probably 10 years ago. Yeah.
That's basically free.
Yep.
And now you would probably have to pay £26,000 for something like this.
Well, not just quite, but see everything like, see these, they're different on the 22B. I get them reproduced.
From the actual
From the
company.
genuine one. No, I have a machine shop who makes me these.
Oh,
Actually,
in Northern Ireland?
Yeah. I actually sell quite a lot of them. So, and then there's
Oh, that's the full, like a full real
quarter panel.
quarter panel.
And then what happened was, it's very hard to get wheel rims for them.
Yeah.
So that's an original.
No
I got
way.
these reproduced. I got 100 of these. Myself and a friend of mine got 100 of these reproduced.
That is so cool. You know, I love this though, because if you're not going to do this, who's going to do this to keep them on the road? You know, because as they get pushed hard on track or whatever, and plus also they're just getting so expensive to the point where it's worth doing this to get it to original as possible.
I sent a set of these to Australia last week. So what happens is, when these cars came out, they were 17-inch wheels. People took the 18-inch wheels off. Sorry, took the 17s off and put on a nice set of 18s. Didn't think anything of these.
Probably threw them away.
Threw them away and sold them for £200-300 cheap or whatever.
Yeah.
And now they have a car worth £100,000-200,000 with no wheels. So the only option is to buy a set of replica wheels.
So then, how many 22Bs were actually made?
On paper, 324, but I think I have a very large database on them, and I think there's 325.
That's including the UK delivery
Yes.
cars as well.
400 Japanese spec, 16 UK spec, 3000 cars for Colin McRae
Yes.
and all the rest, and then there was an extra show car as a 000 that everybody forgets about, but I have
Right.
details of it and photographs of it.
And then so you're saying there's 300 left? Or
It's hard to know how many's left.
Yeah.
I would say there is a good 300.
yeah.
There's a lot of them damaged and cut up over the years that I have information on.
Right, cuz like we were saying, you know, they at one point they weren't worth that much at all. Not much more than a regular WRX.
I can show you on my computer. I have old sales adverts as low as maybe £14,000-15,000 sterling. You know, going back to 2007, 8, 9.
I'll take a couple of them. So all hardware.
Everything, all, because I'm doing restorations all the time, all the nuts and bolts, all, you know, there's even genuine the BBS wheel valves for the wheels, all genuine, just all the rare stuff that I keep. There's all the brake pipes, the likes of that's not gettable anymore. I have loads of it.
What's the furthest away somebody's shipped their car to you?
Well, I wanted, at the start of COVID, there was a guy, he lived 6 months in Australia and 6 months in Greece, and the car's in Greece, and he wanted to send it from Greece. There's been other people on from New Zealand, places like that, looking to send me their cars, but I just can't do it. I haven't got the time.
Yeah, because you have 10 in the queue right now
Yeah.
to restore. and they're kind of floating around. Like some of them are in the paint shop, some of them are somewhere else. And then
Most I can't have that many here. It takes me about 6 months to do one, and I'm already running 6 months behind this year already. So most of them, you know, they aren't here. I just ring the customer and say, right, I'm ready for you, come on ahead. And then other customers ring me and saying, you promised me at Christmas, last Christmas you'd do me car. And I say, sorry, but I'm running a wee bit behind. So say downstairs in there's all full of parts. Brand new brakes, rotors, suspension, brake pipes, just all sorts of new stuff.
and what's all this? Same.
This is just generally the same, but that's actually very good second-hand 22B suspension there. This is my day-to-day. I sell a lot of Subaru parts, clutches, you know, gearbox engine parts.
Yeah.
So this is all sort of the
Amazing.
store. I'm a Roger Clark dealer for Subaru stuff, so I keep a lot of their products on the shelf.
That's so cool. So right down here, is this one that you've restored, or is this just a customer's car?
This car is in for this come from England. It's not for a restoration. It's just in for a recommission, basically service, timing belt, and a few wee bits and pieces. It doesn't have the original brakes. He wants the original brakes and exhaust oil put back onto it and a few things. So it's just a minor tidy up.
But this is like a driver car. Like he actually uses it, huh?
It doesn't really. This guy sort of wheels and deals in them. And he probably wouldn't drive it that much. He would drive it if he had to, but he doesn't. There's a few parts that aren't original on the engine, which he wants put back all standard again.
And you have all that stuff in stock. Even this one could use some conditioning, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could. All this is non-original. That's painted.
Right.
Wrong color.
Yeah.
That's not original. That's not original. This is not original. So I can put
And
all this
this,
back
yeah.
standard.
Yeah. Do you know, like, what was the last one that sold
For what?
for like big money?
Uh,
Didn't one of the prototypes sell
it's
recently?
up now in 4 weeks' time. Colin McRae's car, the prototype car, is up. I honestly, deep down, think somebody will give £1 million for that. I do believe that because it's his car.
Think of how many cars or other things that you could buy for £1 million.
But there's only one Colin McRae
That's
22B.
true. That's true.
You know, and there's so much history.
And then that one isn't even as fancy as these, right? Because it was a prototype. There's a couple things that were missing.
No, they're all basically everything. Well, UK to Japanese car, and even the prototypes, everything was the same in the prototype. The basic difference on a UK 22B like this and a Japanese one is the lights were changed. They should have more of a frosted light. So these were what changed into the version 5, version 6, 99 lights. So the lights are different.
This is cool. There's like a little protector on here, huh?
The lights were different. On a Japanese 22B, this was clear and it's orange. We call that a UK spec. It's orange on the UK one.
So then is this the same as the regular STI then?
No, regular STA is clear here.
Oh, okay.
This
So
is
this
all
is
the
pretty
same.
rare then.
No, that's UK. In the UK, we would have that.
Oh.
UK, Ireland,
Got it.
Europe sort of would have this colour of lights.
Got it.
And the same in the P1.
So then how many of these were available in the UK?
16. So
And then this one is or you don't know what number this
it's
one
either
is.
3 or 7. So it is. So basically, when these cars come in, they were taking a Prodrive. A few wee things changed. I think there was an alarm fitted. Lights were changed. The gear ratios were changed.
For UK market.
For UK market, yeah.
Why?
The gear ratios were changed. Just a few wee sort of things. The headlights were changed. A few wee bits and pieces. And there was a underbody black sealant put on them because all the Japanese cars came sort of like a painted sort of bluey colour. These are all black underneath.
Huh.
But the Colin McRae car, the prototypes, they come in via Subaru UK and they've all been done black underneath as well. As far as I'll stand corrected, I think the lights have been changed to UK lights as well.
So do you think the UK version is worth more than the Japanese version because it's more rare?
There's been an online debate about this. Some people say yes, some people say no. I would believe they would be worth more because there is only 16 of them.
Did any other countries get the 22B?
Australia.
How many did they get?
Got 5.
That's it.
So Japan 400, UK 16, Australia 5, and 3 prototypes, which is 324.
Yeah.
And I believe there's another prototype, which makes it 325. The other prototype, these all have 2.2 engines. The other prototype, which I believe is the very first one, going by the number of the chassis number, that it's only a 2-litre engine. It was a 2-litre car made to look like this.
So that means they never came in left-hand drive either. Then they were all right-hand drive.
But there has been 3 or 4 converted to left-hand drive. There's one, I think, in Russia. There's one in Italy. And there's definitely 2 or 3, I think maybe 4.
Yeah, because in some countries it's illegal to drive on the right side, I think.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Huh. And then so what about this one? Is this one in for service?
This in for about a 10 or 11 care. He wants it restored, but I've told him he's in my queue for 2 or 3 years. Wants all new brakes and brake rotors put on, all serviced, bits and pieces done. He wants all that just to get the car up and running again, a few wee things tidied. I actually had a really nice one here, but she left on Thursday. Last Thursday she left. I didn't restore it, I was only doing the geometry on it. But the car had a nice restoration.
Do you know how many 22Bs are in Northern Ireland and Ireland?
I would say Ireland, at a guess, 30.
That's actually a lot.
It is a lot. And there's some people have 2.
So this is cool because this allows you to service them outdoors.
Well, if you'd been here on Friday, this car was away testing in the forest on Friday. The muck on it was this deep. So you come and you wash them all first before you work on them. You pull the muck off them.
Yeah. So that's nice that it's outdoors.
It just means when we bring the car into the workshop that the car's clean underneath.
Yeah.
So, and then if it's nice weather, you can work outside and do a wee job on it.
So this is a customer car also. Or all of these are customer cars.
That's mine, but everything else is customers' cars.
And then this is like you re-prep them after a stage rally for the customers?
Yeah.
That way they don't have to do it themselves or anything.
This guy sort of half does it himself, and I just do the major work. And then this car here, she more or less stays here all the time, and I bring it back and forward to events for the customer. So then I have another customer. We're away to rally there on Saturday with another customer. He's Scottish. He has the car way back to Scotland one now, but he crashed at the weekend. So
the crazy thing for me is that we're just driving down a normal country road, and it's this full-on race shop here. It's so out of place, I guess. But I mean that's the point, right? Like, how long have you actually been here?
I started working here in 1993. So basically 30 years. More of a part-time basis back then, and then from probably about 1998 full-time.
So this is your personal car?
Yeah. I don't drive it that much. It's just something to have.
That's a good-looking car. So then we have one work in progress, but this is actually not a real 22B.
No, this is if you want to call it a replica. My customer went to a guy in Croatia who made all the panels, handmade all the steam panels for it.
Instead of getting actual genuine panels?
No, well, it's just so hard to get genuine ones, but the only other option is fiberglass or Kevlar.
Right.
And he doesn't like the fiberglass or Kevlar. He prefers the steel panel. So he got these handmade.
I mean, it's going to be a brand new vehicle. The only thing that's going to be different from this and a real 22B is just the VIN number at that point, because he's probably going to address everything.
We have actually had the seats. They're like version 5.6 STI seats. That's a genuine 22B seats. We have had the seats covered identical.
So then what do you think about Prodrive building those? It's the P25, right?
25.
Yeah. What do you think?
They went to Goodwood last year with the car, and to be quite honest, the car was a disgrace. Right. No, but seriously, it was an embarrassment to them.
Really?
There was so many parts unfinished, so many things not right.
Maybe that was their prototype or
It
something.
was their prototype, but they must have been rushed for time because the car was honestly horrendous. And now they've made a load of modifications since, and to be quite honest, the car looks quite nice now, but it's
Okay.
still overpriced. So
Got it.
way, way, way overpriced.
I mean, I guess it's just the market, right? You know, the market, and there's so many people that have come of age that always dreamed about that kind of car, and now that they can finally afford it, they'll actually purchase it.
But it's 450,000 plus VAT or 460 plus VAT, whatever, just 550, 60,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Absolutely mad.
Yeah, it's so expensive. What are you guys doing though with this?
All is done to your allies, and he decided to crash it.
Oh no! No way!
This is what he done.
What the? That is crazy. Did he get injured?
No, he didn't.
This is returning back to the earth. Look at this.
Yeah.
So then you took everything off of
So
this.
we were going to fix this, but he managed to buy that body shell quite cheap. So we decided to take everything off this and put it into that body shell.
Is this? It's not even worth fixing at this
is.
point, though. Is it?
Well, it is fixable. It's only here and there on the far side and roof skin and
Right, because the cage itself.
everything is all perfectly in shape. All your door lines, everything's perfect.
Oh, this must have gone end over end then, huh?
It did.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So then that car's almost done then, huh?
Yeah, if I had 2 days out of it, it would be finished.
Oh.
But I just can't find 2 days spare.
It doesn't help that journalists from America come randomly calling. I'm sorry about
Oh,
that.
you're okay.
But this looks great. What a beautiful
I
car.
managed to get a shell worth the money, so it was easier just to put all the parts onto the new shell.
Huh. Yeah, because this shell with the cage and everything all passes scrutineering and everything.
Yeah. It does.
What about this? So you work on Evos too?
I used to work a lot on them, but not so much in recent years. This is just in for a bit of service work, timing belt, fuel filter and pump and stuff. A few basic parts just.
But like the TME was more common, right? In terms of like a special car. So it didn't go up in price like the 22B.
No, but they're still making very strong money, so you probably give as much as £100,000 for maybe for a really, really, really nice one.
Yeah. That's cool. So do you have any of TMEs that you're restoring or something that you're working on right now?
The guy over the road, I have his to do. About 6 or 7 miles away, I have his to do for him. It doesn't really need a major registration, just a few things tidied up. So it does.
And then you have a bunch of engine blocks here.
My main work is engines and gearboxes, transmissions, differentials, all that sort of work. So that's a 22B engine that we've stripped, and we've sandblasted, or between sandblasting and aquablasted every single part and rebuilt it. And then we'll have all the rest of it just to finish off. But that's
going to be basically a brand new engine.
Yeah. I've actually there's a customer in Canada. He's actually, his 22B engine is on his way here to me at the moment to be built.
And then, so is this going into one of the cars you're restoring right now?
She's currently in the body shop.
Oh.
So she is. So the gearbox, if you can sort of see there, but it's really hard. Maybe if you go up the far side, you can see the gearbox is already done, finished.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Just go ahead and walk on through there, do you see?
Yeah.
So everything's all labelled,
It looks brand new. Yeah.
redone, so.
That is so cool. Amazing.
This was just a rally engine that melted a piston. Oh no, it's just not, I haven't got it here. This has been a rally engine's melted piston, so that's in for a rebuild.
Well, I appreciate you showing me around on such short notice.
No,
and you know the thing
to me
is,
it's boring because I just do it day in, day out.
to me it's so interesting because I mean this is how these cars are going to live on. You know, I think it's so cool. Can I see the parts warehouse down below?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want this door open? Let a bit of light in for you.
Sure. Whoa. All these intercoolers. So then, are you on Yahoo Auctions a lot then? Then how do you, if you scour the internet for all this stuff, how do you find it if they're selling it in Japanese?
Just different places, just depends what I'm buying. There's people, it's like, are you familiar with the strut brace in the engine bay?
Yes.
It's like, I know a guy has about 30 brand new ones in Portugal. So I buy them from him, and then we wheel and deal with each other.
Got it.
There's people know I have stuff, and then I know they have stuff. So,
Like what's that stuff?
right,
Like
this is all your window trims. See all your trims over front and back.
and it's all brand new.
All brand new, yeah. You can still buy those, but someday soon you won't be able to. So I'm gathering them up for the day that you can't get them.
So do you think, does Subaru have a stock of a lot of this stuff?
I
No.
have stuff that Subaru don't have. A lot of stuff Subaru don't have. So, like, I have brand new 22B heads up there. I have suspension arms, brake discs, brake calipers, shocks. Well, there's actually a box full of 22B shocks.
So do you have in transmission?
Yep,
Brand new.
brand new, yeah.
Never been.
Sorry, that's rebuilt.
Oh, okay. Rebuilt.
That stuff's rebuilt.
Do you have a relationship with Subaru in any way?
Not really, no. So, just all sorts of things like door glass. Door glass is really to get. Quarter glass is very hard to get. Exhausts are brand new, all that
Brand
stuff.
new.
Yeah. Brake pipes,
Yeah.
suspension, just a mix of stuff.
Carpets.
Yeah, boot carpets, just as a 22B back box, exhaust silencer. 22B springs, washer bottles, intercooler spray bottles, all that stuff's all sitting up there brand new.
Yeah.
Engine cover trays, bumper brackets.
Like all that stuff is unique to the 22B.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
Really, the only thing unique to the 22B is the 2.2 engine, the gearbox, the front fenders or
Yep.
wings, and
Yep.
the back boot spoiler, front and back bumpers. More or less everything else is version 4. The intercoolers, the bottles, the tanks, radiators is all more or less version 4.
But even all the version 4 stuff, at this point, it's getting harder and harder
Yep.
to find
Everything's
really
very hard to get.
good versions of it. Yeah.
So
It's cool though that you've had the foresight to gather these parts for future builds.
yeah, it's even silly things like power steering pipes, interior parts,
Yeah.
glove boxes, all this sort of stuff. Even now, like, see for the 22B is a standard version 1, 2, 3, 4 timing cover, but it's painted red. But even the standard black cover isn't. Some of the parts are no longer available.
Yeah.
Subaru have stopped doing them. So I've been galling up. There could be 10 or 15 sets in there.
Right.
So
Amazing. And all of these blocks and
yeah, that's just stuff that are from stock for engine builds. Like there's fuel tank for the 22B. There's all sorts of stuff there.
so
This is the engine. It's been sitting ready quite a while for that replica 22B.
oh, it's all ready to go.
That's all sitting ready to go. All fully aquablasted and rebuilt. Everything.
So with this individual putting this much money into this build, at this point, would it have been cheaper just to buy a real one?
When we started this project, yes. To be quite honest.
Now, maybe not.
Now, no.
Well,
But-
because essentially what you're doing is you're building a 0 mile one.
yeah,
Yeah.
We started this project actually 4 years ago, and the guy in the body shop took over 3 years to paint the car.
Oh wow.
So a lot of this stuff has been sitting ready for a few years. So I believe this replica build is going to be 70, maybe £80,000 to build. But 4 years ago, you could buy a 22B for that price.
Yeah. So what do you have on your computer here?
Right, each file, every single 22B that I find, I save photographs of.
You mean that you come across?
Yeah, anywhere, whether it's internet, Instagram, anywhere. If I find a photograph of a 22B, like for instance, there's number 102 in Russia, and there's all the photographs I have of it.
But so if you don't see the plate or the VIN number, how do you differentiate one from the other?
Because I have a world of information, and I have the genuine Subaru dealer information as well that can help me with stuff. I have a contact in Japan who can get me chassis numbers, gearbox numbers, build dates, all the information, and I can link stuff, and then plus cars I've worked on. So each one is a different car.
How many are there total that you have information on?
A right few. I don't have a lot of information, some, and there's others I have loads of information on. I have, hundreds of photographs on some, and others I don't.
It's interesting because that means if you come across one in real life, you potentially already know about that car.
Yeah, there's people contact me all the time that are buying cars. I'm going to buy this car. Do you know anything about it? And I can go and look at my database.
And then they can ask you if it's real or if it's been in some kind of incident.
On which I have, like for instance, where's an old, I'll show you, say number 17, I think it is.
Number 17.
Like, it's hard to remember. We were talking about old adverts. I was able to say, like for instance, this car was for sale for £19,000 in 2012. So I have old adverts like that. That's on eBay. And there's the details of the car.
You mean you screenshotted these? Like you, back then you screenshotted them?
A mixture of me and one other person. Between the two of us, we have this database going. So he hasn't been updating it in recent years, but I have.
You kind of already knew at the time, you think, that they were going to go up in price?
Well, we've been knowing this for a few years. But when you see old adverts like that, it's like there's a guy in Hong Kong. The car was here, and it was sold for 25,000 pounds, and I was selling him parts, and I sent him a few of these pictures where the car, he gave something like 150,000 pounds for it, and I was sending him these adverts, and he says, please stop sending me these. He says, it's making me cry. He says, because he's paid 150,000 that 3 years or 4 years previous was for sale in Ireland or whatever for £25,000, £24,000.
Yeah.
So I think actually that's the car there, and it's in Hong Kong now. So, but say there's the one. Do you remember they say there's 300 cars? Well, there you have Colin McRae's, Nicky Chris, and David Lapworth.
Oh, that must be like you must have a lot of materials of all three of those, huh?
I actually don't have an awful lot. But as you see, there's 1, 2, 3. But I also have information on another 000 car. And if you look, all the chassis numbers start in around 067. So car number 5 is an 067 chassis number, where Colin McRae's car is an 065. So she's an earlier one. So the very first one that I believe is a 2-litre car comes in an 061 chassis number. So I believe she was the very first prototype. And not a lot of people know that car.
That's what I was referring to. So Collins is a 2.2.
Yes.
And then this one is a 2-litre still.
Yeah, because what I have is, I'll show you a screenshot here of, well, here's the information from Japan for a start, which tells me when the car was built. She is a blah blah blah. There's the chassis number, 1998. Where's the engine number now? and what she is.
Engine.
That
EJ20.
EJ20 engine, that's not the transmission code of a 22B, so she's basically a 2 litre Type R.
Interesting.
And the trim code's different as well. I mightn't have it here, but the 070704, she'll come up now telling you she's a 22B.
Yeah.
And trim code, etc., colour codes, all that sort of stuff, where that other car came up as WRX STA.
So were all the 22Bs blue?
Yes, 74F is the colour code for 22B. So
I'm wondering if any of them have been painted.
Loads.
Like other colors. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, I do know of one car where a man got it stolen, and the car was recovered by the police, and it was put up for auction, and nobody bought it because the car was grey. Approximately 10 years later, he found the car grey, and he realised it was his car. Somebody had stolen his 22B, painted it grey, and he restored the car
Back to blue.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to support us directly, go to larrychenprints.com. I print and sign every single one of these. This is the perfect gift, or it's the perfect piece of art for your wall.